Yo, what's good, y'all? We're back with another video, and today we're gonna go over support and resistance. What is support and resistance? You see this line here? Basically, last time we went over trend lines and trends, you guys know that higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows consist of whatever, or that consists of, or an uptrend consists of higher highs and higher lows, right? And a downtrend consists of lower lows and lower highs. Boom. Now, the next simple thing that you have to understand are levels, right? A lot of people call them resistance points and supports, resistance and support. What makes it a resistance, right? So say, for example, we have a resistance. This is just a line here. It's not an actual level. But say we have a resistance, right? What makes it a resistance? If price is under the level, it's a resistance. If it breaks above, it is now support. If price is above it, it's a support, right? If it breaks below, it is now a resistance. Simple as that. Let's give you guys some example of support and resistance. So if I go into the daily time frame, keep in mind, like I said last video, the larger the time frame, the larger or the stronger the level is going to be, right? So if you're on the weekly or monthly time frame, it's going to be a lot stronger than it would be on the daily. If you're on the daily time frame, it's going to be a lot stronger than it would be on the 4 hour, 1 hour, and so on. So the smaller the time frame, the weaker the level is going to be. The higher the time frame, the stronger the level is going to be. So say, for example, here you have a level, you have a sell-off level there, you have sell-off level here, there. That would be a resistance point because price broke below it. And just marking that, you can see that price in the past has respected this level or near that level. Price got above it, bounced there, consolidated here, didn't really bounce, but in this area, this 458 level, 460 is like a strong level where price reverses, right? Bounce there, bounce there, bounce there, and then it broke below and ended up rejecting there. So these levels, you don't take trades off these levels. What you use these for are like magnets, right? So if I'm moving, say like that's a daily level. So I highly recommend that if you're marking levels like on the weekly time frame, stay on the weekly. If you're marking it on the daily, mark every level on the daily. That or change, like you can do this like 2 point, so this is a daily level. Boom. You can do stuff like that just so that way it looks a lot more organized. Because you don't want to be marking resistance levels like this and then going into the 1 hour and being like, oh, here's another level like that, and then you wake up in the morning and you forget, oh, which ones are which. So make sure you're staying organized. So I like to stay on the weekly or the daily, occasionally the 4 hour, depending on where we're at. So like say, for example, here there's a bunch of sell off there. Let's go into the 4 hour. Bunch of sell off here, strong resistance. I still remember this day too. That was a crazy day, and then we ended up coming back near that level and rejecting again. Right, so that's resistance. Let's see if we go into the future, we can see that price broke above, started bouncing. It's not always going to be perfect, but you use these as pivot points. You don't take trades off of these. So as price starts approaching these levels, you get to anticipate the bounce or the rejection. Now that we're like pretty much approaching all-time highs, we're literally like $3 off of it from 480. We're approaching all-time highs. We want to play the bounces, right? So look at these levels here. So we see sell off, sell off, sell off, sell off, sell off, and we have a bounce there. So I would mark this level there. It used to be a resistance. We broke above, and we ended up bouncing. We actually did take a swing down here at 412, and it's been up since, which is crazy. That's not always going to happen, but the way I like to mark my levels is previous highs, right? So once we broke above here, my first target was this previous high, and then this previous high, and now it's this previous high. So now, whenever we retrace and come back down, I'm not expecting it to just crash and go down. That's not going to happen. Realistically, that's not going to happen. It's going to come down a bit, but it's not going to come all the way down, right? I'm going to target this previous high here. It's going to be pretty much, it's not going to be perfect. I'd say, I try to find the median in between other rejections. So I see one here, there, and one there. So I try to find the middle of those, and I'll just, put it there. So around 458. See how it matches up with the level we just picked earlier? It's a really strong level, right? So since we're above it, that's what makes it a support. And we're under 479.77, that's a resistance because we're under that level. They're all levels, right? These are just like areas where price is, bouncing or rejecting. There's a bunch of orders there. So once we start coming back down to 458 or around that area, then I'll start looking to take a trade to the upside. I call it a launch pad. But yeah, super simple. Support and resistance levels is super easy to understand. It's not really complicated. I'm on the daily time frame right now, or I zoomed into the daily time frame, but I was on the weekly. I like choosing the weekly because they're a lot stronger. They're going to be a lot more accurate. And then I just go down there into smaller time frames, and I trade in between those. So I'll look for, if I'm swinging, I'll be on the 1 hour, 4 hour trade in between it. Like so. Or as we start approaching certain levels, I'll go into my actual trading time frames, and I'll start looking to, target 479. So we break this resistance here on the 15-minute. Boom, we create, this is a 15-minute level here. We create a fair value gap, and then we end up, trading to the upside. That's how I would, trade it. Super simple, nothing crazy. You just got to know what your levels are. These are weekly levels, so if we're above 458, I'm going to play the trend to the upside, especially if we're currently trending up. But yeah, it's been Decrypt. This is how you find levels, or at least how I find my levels. This is the most simple way that you can, navigate around the market. So there's like uptrends, downtrends, and then once you know your trend, which way we're trending, then you want to play in between respected levels. So there's 4 respected levels on the screen right now. You can do this for any stock, not just SPY. I'm using SPY because it's super simple and everybody knows it's the S&P 500. But yeah, boom. Another video. We'll be back tomorrow, and that's pretty much it. You guys take care, man. Decrypt out.